Hello everyone, this is Alfredo Mundi and welcome to this my Screenpal presentations. So I'm going to present a course called Digital Records and Archives Management, and so before we present anything, I'm Alfred, and the learning outcome of today is at the end of the topic, the learner should know what is email, media, bound digital records, scanned records. So all these are types of records which are in digital format. So the emails, according to National Archives and Records Administration, there are 4 areas needed to be considered for effective management of email records, and these are policies, system, access, and dispositions. So policies and training programs should explain staff responsibility of managing emails records. The policies and training should instruct staff how to distinguish between permanent, temporary, transitional, and non-record email messages. The system should be in place that can manage and preserve email records in an acceptable electronic format until disposal. Access: email records should remain discoverable, retrievable, and usable throughout their life cycle. Safeguard against unauthorized loss or destruction should be in place. In disposition, appropriate retention period for email records should be established. Systems should be implemented to support the appropriate disposition of email records according to the retention schedule. So tools we can use to manage this electronic record, we can use Fisher and Adobe PDF toolbar, and these are found in Microsoft Outlook. And this image here show how these 2 tools are used in managing emails records. So there are records, electronic record called media records. So there are 4 steps towards addressing digital media assets. First, you have to look at the audit, the selection process, digitization, and the storage. So in audit, review holding to identify and record what they have, then add entries to a record management system if one is in place. Selection: determine what to do with what they have, then what should be digitized and what should be not digitized. Then digitization: digitize the media holding that have been so designated. Establish metadata. Then it's storage: apply storage item in a determined physical location. Store digitized content in the network space allocated. So there are some key points which you need to take into consideration. So the selection process can be laborious and time-consuming, but is crucial to the entire process as it will allow the best use of available resources. This will ensure that we do not digitize an important material and that we purge content that does not need to be stored. Note to that finding out what is on a tape that is not clearly labeled can also be challenging, as it will require a review of the content using an appropriate device. Then the third-party vendor may be utilized to undertake every digitization project if a reliable vendor is available. Then you have to provide provision of adequate storage space to facilitate your collection of digital media asset. Then we have to do some kind of recommendation of media asset record. First, you have to perform an audit of media asset currently held and outline the number of files of each type and total disk space being used for each type. Then a separate storage space for digitized media files should be created. Then a backup to an internal storage device of all digital media assets should be done at least once a year. Depending on the magnitude of the digital media asset collection, there may be need to deploy a robust digital asset management system for managing photos and all media assets. Then metadata for existing media assets will need to be entered over time. Appropriate tags should be created and applied to each asset to facilitate easy finding or filtering content. Users should be trained appropriately on how best to use this new system. Then lastly, establish access control for asset collection based on user role. Then the third one, media asset organization process. So media asset, we have when we are doing auditing, we have to digitize, then store, then the code which we don't use, we put them on trash and we destroy them. We can store them physical storage, or we can scan. After scanning a process, then we store again, or we put them into digital storage like cloud computing. Then there are some records which are born digital. So document management system, there are currently two prominent platforms being utilized to manage documents at the general conference called SharePoint and LeisureFisher. LeisureFisher provides security and easy for use among other network advantage. So LeisureFisher have the capacity to publish documents online and make them available to the public. However, it is unfunctional in this regard, is limited, and does not easily facilitate the level of customization needed. Consequently, if documents are to be published to a public website, SharePoint currently does a better job at facilitating this. Then we have two recommendations about digital records. As we know, LeisureFisher is suitable and recommended platform for managing digital records. Dependent where LeisureFisher is unused, should create LeisureFisher document template with metadata field based on their established retention schedule. This will facilitate better management of records. Establish retention schedule rules on the department's LeisureFisher repositories towards having files automatically archived as needed. Then establish a system for purging or archiving files that should be deleted based on the retention schedule. Large repositories are more difficult to manage. It is therefore important that files be removed if they have done beyond their retention period and are designated to be deleted. Then there are scan records. Scan records can also be a digital records. We can scan a record so that we can scan a physical record to be digital. So there are scanning guidelines. Where scanning preparation by cleaning, removing and discharge binding object, then handling a typical paper, then expose all content, separate content that may be obsessed used information on the page it is attached to. For example, large photographs taped to an application. Then scan document and ensure all pages are scanned. Documents should be scanned to the industry standard as follows. Like the business document, scan them using 300 dpi, then archive image, scan them through 600 dpi. Archival photo scanning guideline. Archival photo scanning should be scanned at 600 dpi, as I said in tip. If necessary, a JPEG scan should be generated to facilitate online publishing. The scan should be straight and have an even strip of space around the edge of the photo. We are scanning the object instead of merely the picture. Relevant metadata will be added as available. Thank you for the class, and let's enjoy our next class in managing system through the e-portfolio.